Well, good morning everybody and welcome back to the channel. Here we are out on the bike, sun is shining, beautiful day, and we're out with a TRF. It's a monthly social ride today. We're up in the beautiful North Yorkshire Dales, and if we just have a look around us, we can see we're fairly well represented, given that the time of year that we're in, middle of the summer, quite a lot of people away on holiday, etc. So I don't know what's going to happen today. You guys don't know what's going to happen. Come on, Paul. But one thing that is for sure, it's going to be an absolutely fantastic day. A little bit on the hot side. So without further ado, in fine biking buddies fashion, let's grab ourselves that brew, grab ourselves a beer, strap yourselves in, and come with us on this week's Biking Buddies Motor Vlog. Let's roll VT.
Where do you go when you're young, when you're restless, when you're fun, 'cause you're desperate? Oh, here they come for a chance, for adventure. What's your poison? What's your pleasure?
Well, that's the titles out of the way, as you've well seen. So let me explain in a little bit more detail what we're up to. So we're just knocking on the back end of June now. Beautiful weather, we're riding in 19 degrees and we're just making our way towards the first trails. We've got a small group today, which is absolutely perfect, so 5 up, myself included. And we're going to take a little bit of a circumnavigate around some of the slightly trickier trails, certainly for me, maybe not for other riders within the group, but certainly for me, some of the trickier trails that the Dales have got to offer. We've had a relatively dry forecast for the last week or so, and as such, we're going to brave a couple of water crossings. Hence the comment at the beginning, I don't know what's going to happen, and you certainly don't know what's going to happen. There are bridge portages on those if I don't like the look of them. So as we work our way out of the meeting point down towards our first trail, let's pick the video footage up when we're into the dirty stuff. Whoa, a bit of overgrowth. Yes, so here we are dropping down to Down Home, or the area that we're in is Down Home. That's not necessarily the name of this lane. Quite a lot of growth at the moment. Yes, this is a nice little lead in. It's quite a rocky climb on the way out from memory. And I want to have a quick look at the water at the bottom just to see what it's like. Should be fairly inauspicious, hopefully. Fingers crossed, famous last words. Can't actually see the trail for the vegetation. A lot of flies about today. Going to be a lot of flies in the old helmet, just buzzing around, creeping around your ears. Yeah, that water's fairly low. We can have a little look at that. See what we're like. Yeah, we look to be okay. That is slippy. Very slippy, very mossy coming through there. And this is the rocky ascent. Let's get up here and then get across. That's a bit technical, that today. Certainly isn't, you know, just a planned job. Just quick glance back there, the guys are still with me. As expected, the skill set in this group today far exceeds my own. So in terms of comfort levels, or comfort zone rather, I think I'll be the only one really pushing outside my comfort zone today. But it's good. And it's good to get out knowing that I've got that support and that extra help with the fellow TRF members. So let's just have a quick regroup here just to check that we're all okay. That was Slippy in the bottom of there, eh?
Yeah, well when I said you, I stopped and waited till you got through, but I stalled it.
I thought I'll stand up, and then I thought, oh, best not, because I could see all the green, yeah, and the bike just went whoop.
Well, my back span out in the last bit.
Right, so here we are making our way towards Withth. Just had that rocky ascent. And we're going to work our way gently across the tops now. A little bit loose under wheel. And what was really surprising with Down Home was just how much moss and debris was in the bottom of the river there. The water levels were very, very low, thankfully. But yeah, the bike was certainly skidding around. And I would imagine the same will be said for Withth and then Goats Road afterwards. But that's still to come. We've got this absolutely beautiful upland field that we ride across, which is just spectacular. And anybody that knows this area will certainly appreciate just how kind of remote it all feels. A couple of people here, so we're just respecting those shared spaces as always. Good morning, folks. Thank you. Thank you very much. And a hugely positive interaction there. Absolutely superb. And is this an away gate? Yes, it's an away gate. And this is that remote field just dropping down into Withth. It's actually quite a steep descent. I don't come across this track that often, as you guys will well know, mostly because I'm a little bit chicken when it comes to water. And there is a little tea garden down here. We're not going to stop because we've only just started the ride, to be fair. But yeah, what a beautiful, beautiful location this is. Just take it easy past the livestock. And this really is where we start to pick up the severity of the descent. And the trouble that we have when the trail is so dry, and I guess this is kind of the nemesis reincarnate really, is when the trail is dry, then the gravel that we're on, the looseness is like roller bearings, and it's very, very difficult for us to arrest that speed on the bike. And looking at the crossing there, it looks fairly benign in terms of absolute depth of water. Just checking there, the guys behind me. Just looking now to pick my line. Would be kind of off here. Yeah, off here and through. I mean, there's no water to speak of, but man alive, it is slippy. Whoop, and there's the stall. So let's see how our other guys get on, probably considerably better than me. Slippy, innit? Expertly done, like her boss. Ooh, that's the enduro rider. Trials bikes. Yeah, the problem that we got is it's all this brown stuff makes for the rocks to be incredibly slippy. The water level's incredibly low, thankfully, but yes, very, very slippy indeed. Water crossing, 2 out of 3, done. Okay, yes, so fingers crossed that is 2 out of 3 water crossings done. We've arguably got the more tricky one coming now, which is the water crossing at Goats. Again, it's the same river that we've just been across now, so the water level shouldn't be an issue, but obviously the levels of grip, they most likely will be. So we're up on the upland plains at the moment, and we're just going to scoot back down into that valley, dip our noses down into Goats, through the water crossing, and then climb back up onto the other side and onto the absolutely stunning, utterly stunning, yep, we're all there, the utterly stunning Framington Edge, which basically is the other side of the hill that we're looking at directly in front of us. And the views off the top of there over Grinton and Framington and Wreath will be quite spectacular today, I am sure. That's if we make it that far. Let's see how we get on with this water crossing here. Okay, so this is the descent and there's the ascent on the opposite side. It is incredibly loose, certainly from memory with the regrading that's gone on. Let me just, yeah, and here we go, down into Goats. And obviously the GoPro never ever picks this up, but this is one seriously steep descent. A couple of bikes down there already. And there we go, straight through. I can kind of see a route, but I am going to sit down because I can see just, and stall again. So let's just check everybody else gets through okay. Yep. Let's check everybody else goes through. Okay, it is just slippy. About as deep as I'd want it. Just keep going, keep going. Awesome. Just keep going to the top. Fantastic. And we're all through. Now I definitely made hard work out of that. Let's get a bit of traction and get that second climber gear. There we are. Wow, look at the ruts. This is used incidentally by a lot of farm traffic as much as pleasure off-roaders and trail riders. It is a critical farm access route, as we found out later last year. Cheers buddy, thank you very much. And the next stop, Framington Edge. We might just have a little bit of a breather there, jump off the bikes. This is the TRF gate duty machine working absolute harmonious today. And here we are approaching the top of Framington Edge. Absolutely beautiful part of the world. Morning folks. And we'll have a little bit of a stop. Framington Edge, down we go. And yes, so here we go. So as always, it's just steep, very loose, very rocky and bouldery, as you can see. My life, look at that. This is a little bit looser than I recall, that is for sure. But not too bad today. And there's a group ahead of me. I do like riding in these small groups with the TRF because you don't necessarily need to be overly precious about like the run order, as it were, which is good, and that's good for me, especially when I'm stalling left, right and centre like I am today. Let's let these guys go. Respect there, buddy. Wow. Bloody hell. Oh, I'll tell you what, eh? These are the bits that I always worry about if I ride up Framington Edge. I guess if I stayed to this side, I'd probably be okay. But yes, it's certainly a descent that tests your commitment levels, that is for sure. Size that boulder there. Target fixation, I don't want to hit that rock. Oh look, I'm going over that rock. This is one of the worst things about Fremy, is that it's got this gate right where you don't want the gate. And there we are, pretty much down onto the road section. Awesome. Nice one, gents. Whew, Framington Edge in the bag. And here we are, the little interim part of the route as we come through Wreath, the upland market town of Wreath. Deep in Slippy. We're going to jump across from Slippy to Wensleydale shortly, just going over the loose ascent of Summer Lodge. Let's just have a quick glance down at the clocks there. We're riding in 19 degrees of heat, in and out of the sun and the shade. What an absolutely spectacular day today. And I'm really, really pleased, incidentally, that we've got a group of just 5, myself included, obviously. It is just the perfect number. And as you've seen there coming down, what a nice Land Rover. Seeing there coming down Framington Edge, the nice thing is you don't have to be overly precious about the run order as such. Yes, it's my route, I'm leading the day, of course, but we're all out here to enjoy it. We're all out here having a fantastic time and just enjoying this spectacular part of the north of England. And one thing I like about Wreath, perhaps more than any other of the market towns that we go through, even Hawes per se, is it just sits on this little headland, and when you crest over the top of here, you're looking all the way up Swaledale. It is just absolutely fantastic. So we've got one of my favourite gentle trails coming now. And then after that we've got the steep, loose ascent of Summer Lodge, and it's going to be very dry and rubbly today indeed. Hey, I know I film this pretty much every time I come down here, but on days like today where you've got the sunshine, you've got the lambs, you've got all of the foliage out on the trees now, we're in the middle of summer, this approach to Summer Lodge is just utterly stunning, absolutely beautiful. And it doesn't matter that we're riding on the road, very quickly we're going to be on that loose ascent, but yeah, it's just the approach as the valley sides are crouching in on you. Yeah, it's an amazing place, absolutely amazing place. Summer Lodge Farm, here we are, the namesake. And let's get ourselves up this loose and rocky climb. Two, one. Just syncing the cameras, John. Okay, so let's go for it then. Summer Lodge, here we go. How loose this is today. Not where I wanted to be. I think the issue today is I'm just gripping the bars a bit too hard. Love that. I do enjoy that climb. It's taxing, but I enjoy it. So, Summer Lodge living up to its reputation there. Just struggled a couple of sections there. Just the bike struggled on its way up, just dropped gear lever bent. But nothing a bit of trailside repair couldn't sort out, just to get our rider away. And you can certainly see by the nature of the trail, it is absolutely 1000% a momentum hill. There's not a vast amount of traction, so you just got to keep that wheel going. It is very much a cling on kind of trail. Respect for that. Your legs must be burning. Awesome, right. Oh, good. Okay, so Summer Lodge there done and dusted. A little bit of drama, but hey ho ho, part and parcel of the fun today. So Summer Lodge is definitely the bridge from Swaledale on one side across the tops where we are at the moment to the utterly beautiful Wensleydale. We're actually going to make another bridge across from Wensleydale into Coverdale later on, and across the top Kirby Malzade to Masham. That's the general intention today. But as we drop down here, I just couldn't help but flick the camera on. Look at that for a view. We have the Roman Road in front of us, the High Cam Road to the opposite side, and Dod Fell, and the market town, the upper market town of Hawes. So we're going to just dip our toe momentarily onto the Roman Road. That'll take us up towards the Hawes direction, and then we'll get some much needed lunch and some sustenance, get some fluids on board. I've virtually drank the water pack dry, so I do need to get that topped up as well for the second half of the day. Lots and lots more to come on this video, folks, and it is fantastic riding with such a small group, utterly perfect, and yes, riding in 19 degrees of heat, absolutely brilliant. And we're just picking up the section of the Roman road that's just going to throw us a little bit more towards Hawes, the market town down to my right there. This is fairly inauspicious. We're not going to do the full length today. We're going to break off, get a little bit of lunch, and then we're back over the tops this way to come down the Roman road before we head over towards Summerwater and Coverdale. And on the other side of Coverdale, we've got the steep climb out of Arkleside, Deadman's Hill dropping down to Scarhouse Reservoir, over the dam wall, and then the ascent up onto Kirkby Malshead, or Scarhouse as a lot of people refer to it. Another one that's bouldery, rocky and loose, but it should be good fun before we're rounding the day off as we get towards Masham and where else? Leyburn. Masham and Leyburn. Here we go. So a little bit of road work to do now, just to drop us down to the market town of Hawes, where we're going to get some sustenance, fluids and food. Fantastic. Okay, so here we are post lunch. We're just about to head to the top of the Roman road and then get ourselves over towards Deadman's and the very famous Scar House. We are also at the equally famous Wensleydale Creamery that you can see, Wensleydale Deer Grommet. So the group's just grabbing a little bit of fuel, a splash and a dash, and then we're going to regroup ourselves and get ourselves over the trails again. And here we are coming over the tops. This is just an incredible trail, this. I absolutely adore this trail. And the views that it affords you down to Kettlewell to my right and Leyburn really down to my left is just absolutely fantastic. Then we have these steeper descent bits that are invariably loose and can catch you out a little bit, but yeah, it's always good fun. Always good fun. I do enjoy this trail a lot, and it's a nice little link road really, just that gets us from one side of the valley to another, opens up a whole new avenue of trails and prospects for us, which is utterly amazing. What a descent, what an absolutely gorgeous descent. Whoop, there's a bloke there, bloke and his partner, bloke and his wife, very well disguised. Afternoon. Almost never saw you there. And once we're down, we can just let the bike run and gather a little bit of momentum down to the gate. Fairly straight, fairly inauspicious, and we can see nobody's there. But we do have to be careful, because I've got to slow the bike down and stop the bike without huge skids and bruising the trail. There we are. Oh, fantastic, thank you. Thank you, it's very kind. Thank you very much. Thanks, gents, thank you. Just check that we're all here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yep, that's all good. And on to Morpeth Gate and the West Witton Trail. That'll take us across the other side of the hill that we're looking at there, immediately to my right, and that'll drop us into Coverdale. What an incredibly good day that we're having today. I know that I'm saying that from a personal perspective. Obviously we're checking in with the guys there periodically through the day, and also in Hawes. Yep, we're all having a fantastic time. You know what I absolutely love about the T7 is that we can, well, relatively speaking, I can take it off-road, I can certainly challenge myself off-road, nowhere near the capability of the bike of course, but I can also ride down beautiful twisty undulations like the valley that we've just come down, and absolutely the bike just eats that type of terrain up. It loves it. So here we are, just coming to the bottom of our next trail section, and this is a nice gentle climb, and it will link us very nicely up to the top, where we will make the transition across to Coverdale. Just check everybody's with us. Yes, they are. So this is the beautiful Morpeth Gate. Now this is access road to residential properties up ahead, so let's dispatch with you guys on Miracam. Thank you very much, folks, it's been a pleasure. And the only downside with Morpeth Gate, as you can see, we are riding through the trees there, we pop out across the fields and back into the trees again, it is synonymous this time of year for flies in the helmet, which is less than ideal. It is a very popular road with walkers and mountain bikers, albeit I've never ever seen any horses on here yet, albeit I do believe that this is used by equestrians. Good afternoon, thank you very much. And there we are, a couple of people there heard us before we saw those. Had to dip down into first there, and certainly on the T7, or with the way that I ride the T7, it does tend to struggle a little bit in first gear for traction. I find that first gear is just, it's a little bit too bitey, it's a little bit too snatchy, whereas second gear is quite a forgiving gear, and it's a lot longer than first, obviously. And here we are, just coming up towards the top section where we crest out, and then we have a fairly inauspicious traverse just across the contour that takes us to the road section that'll breach across into Coverdale. Not entirely sure I wanted to be in this tiny little rut, but there we are. And this is the last little climb section. Let's get a bit of momentum going, and up we go. And that, folks, is Morpeth Gate. This is now the West Withth Trail. We're all there. Yes, we are indeed. Ho ho ho, the Yorkshire Dales. It is just an area that just keeps giving. We've done so many dales today. We've done Swaledale, Wensleydale, we're just about to drop into Coverdale, and then we'll be in Nidale. So yes, a lot of dales today. And what we're looking at here, off in the very distant distance, as we make this descent, the transition from Wensleydale across into Coverdale, is the entirety of Coverdale stretching out towards the central southern edge of the Yorkshire Dales National Park. And what an absolutely beautiful place it is. Wowzers, I genuinely do enjoy these road sections just as much as the trail sections. The trails are challenging, they're physically demanding, they're mentally stimulating and challenging. The road sections, I find, are just absolutely incredible. These are your relaxing spots. These are the bits where you just recharge the batteries, ready for that next stretch. And man, we're going to need it for this next one, because we've got the steep and loose climb out of Arkleside up onto Deadman's Hill, and then we drop down the aptly named Deadman's into Nidale and Scarhouse. Big boulders, very loose and utterly beautiful, all rolled into one. Okay, so here we are. We've just come through the sleepy little hamlet of Arkleside, and we are now just at the bottom of the ascent up Arkleside towards Deadman's Hill. Deadman's Hill is the namesake of the hill. Let me get that gate. Are we through? Yep, we're through. Deadman's Hill is the namesake of the hill, and I thought that was going to swing back shut. And we'll just get ourselves up and over the top, so we've got to ride a zipped ahead just to get the gates, and that should certainly help and assist. So here we go. Feel that back end just spinning up already. Wowzers. This is the hill that we do the Pathkeepers scheme on, just draining, clearing the drainage grips, and it won't be too many weeks, if not months, before we're back again, just before the winter sets in, to give them a bit of a clear. John's getting the gate. Thank you, John. Just like so. And you don't really need to be going overly quick, as you can see. Just a little bit of extra throttle and lean back. Superb. And it's nice just to keep that speed down a little bit. Just to maintain that control. And here we are, gate duty. This is what I mean, look at this, superb. And this is the beauty about having a small group within the TRF, is I am not particularly precious about the run order. Okay, so this is where we start to get our first views down into Nidale and Scarhouse Reservoir, and it's an absolutely beautiful place, as I'm sure you'll agree, with the iconic Yorkshire Dales reservoirs there. Right, so this is where it does get quite chewy, and I've got to just concentrate a little bit. Right, boulder field number 1 navigated. Boulder field number 2 is the other side of the gate. I know I say this continuously on these videos about the GoPro not picking up the severity of these hills. Anybody that's ridden Deadmans both up or down, you will fully appreciate what I'm saying when I say the GoPro is not picking up the severity of this hill. Let me get this gate. Superb, what a group. Absolutely brilliant. Thanks, Lee. You can see how bouldery this is. Just incredible. There we go. There we go. And this really is where you're hitting boulders kind of the size of crisp boxes, and they can almost stop the bike dead in its tracks. The danger, of course, or the temptation, is to widen the track out and just go to the very edges. I don't like to do that for 2 reasons. First and foremost, erosion, and it's not good for the trail, and secondly, and perhaps more importantly, it just pushes your skill set a little bit to try and stay within the parameters of the trail. Awesome, cheers buddy. I must learn that chap's name. Really, really good lad. In fact, everybody in our group today, as you'd expect, really, really good lads. So that was Deadman's done and dusted. We've got to work our way along the bottom now by the reservoir, and then we're climbing up Scarhouse, but not before we're afforded the absolutely fantastic ride across the dam wall. And here we go, Scarhouse Reservoir. So we come down Deadman's on the opposite side there, and we're just about to go up Scarhouse now. It is a bit of a steep and loose climb, and very much a momentum hill. So here we go. It's got a bit of an inauspicious start to it, as you can see, but then as we pick the tighter section up at the top, we do start to click into a little bit more rougher stuff. So let's just give these guys a little bit of room. I was just catching our CRF up a little bit there. The smaller, lighter bikes can pick the way around the bigger bikes. We do need to maintain that momentum, that is for sure. And that's what you can see happening ahead. Come on, Paul. Sort it out. Wow.
Gotta find a way to get some energy. Gotta find someone who's a good friend of me. I need purpose to make it all worth it. I'm still searching and I'm still learning. I want a life that's filled with memories. Not a life for the brand I'm gonna be.
That certainly tested me. One dab, I can live with that. Man, I can live with that. Whew. Arms are pumped. But there we are at the top. Fantastic. Brilliant. Very, very much out of breath now. Whew. That I enjoyed. Look at the dust we're contending with. Right then folks, so this sees us pulling up onto Kirkby Malzeard, and I believe we go, whoa, nearly into the back of John. Go for it guys, I'll bring up the rear.
Just fell off there.
No! Alright, okay, we'll meet you at the gate. Not if I'm setting off in third, I won't. There we are, right. Okay, let's try that again. So here we are, Kirkby Malzeard, battling with the dust. And that's pretty much ride's end. We've got a few inauspicious trails to do, such as this one, as we can see. And then we are done and dusted. So yes, I do apologise that this is only lid cam. Mirror cam doesn't really lend itself to standing up, unfortunately. And the other thing as well is peg cam, the mount that I bought the mount that I brought is actually completely the wrong one for today's ride. So yes, I do apologise for lack of peg cam today. So if you have stuck with me to the end, then thank you very much for your company as always. Please do give the video a thumbs up. Leave a comment, both positive or negative. I do my level best to reply to all of those. And from me and the team here, all 5 bikes, myself included, wherever you are in the world guys, enjoy your ride, keep it safe, and we will catch you for the next one. Off we go.